Hi, welcome to Kickboxing Tip of the Week. This is going to be an ongoing series on how to improve your kickboxing techniques, whether you're in fitness kickboxing or actually taking these skills to the ring. First thing I'm going to start off with is balance. And again, I know a lot of you out there who are doing the kickboxing, fitness kickboxing, you think, well, I'm trying to just get a workout in. Guys, it doesn't matter. You know, good techniques, bad techniques, bad technique. Good technique over time actually is going to be better for you because you're going to use your whole body, you're going to engage your core, as opposed to most people when they throw punches and kicks, they haven't been trained properly, will just punch with the upper body and just kick with the lower body, where it all should work together. And the very first place you should start, again, first tip of the week episode, so let's start at the very beginning, and that is balance. Let's talk about how to create a good balance. As you notice, I have a ruler in my hand, and I do this in my the kickboxing skills development classes. We'll grab rulers and I'll have everybody put a ruler down and I'll put them in front of a mirror. And the mirror is good because I don't want to look down at my feet. It disorients you when it comes to kickboxing. You have to constantly look down. You don't want to do that. You want to work on your balance by getting in front of a mirror and then fixing that balance and then trying to take that balance to the heavy bag if you're hitting heavy bag. So let's first talk about a good balance. And the first thing you need to do is find your central line. And again, your central line is basically just cutting yourself in half. If I just stood here, you'll notice it goes right through me. All right, so that's where my ruler is. Now, I want also depth in my fighting stance. In other words, I want to have one foot in front of the other. Right now, I have my left foot in front. So I've got about a shoulder width in depth. And my left foot should be in line pretty much with my left shoulder. And my foot should be turned in slightly. Why? Because I want my foot to be pointed at my bag or my opponent. That's where my power is, the end of my toe. So we want to point that toe right at that opponent or that bag. And then if you notice, my other foot is just to the right of the ruler. In other words, not only do I have depth, but I have width. And that's so important to understand, is if you don't focus on making sure you have them both, you won't. And the reason is, when you put one foot in front of the other, the natural tendency, and again, this is after teaching this for over 30 years, the natural tendency is people are going to put their feet in line. The foot's not going to point at the center line anymore. They're going to turn their body more with the feet in line. See how both my feet are on my ruler? And then you have no power on the back side of your punches or kicks. You throw kicks, you feel out of balance. It's just not it's like trying to fight on a tightrope. You need to make sure that all of your techniques has that left foot just slightly to the left of the center line. And that right foot, the back foot, is just slightly to the right. In other words, I should be able to roll a ball between my legs. Not a bowling ball, but maybe a ping pong ball or a tennis ball, and it should just miss. Again, weight should be evenly distributed. Common mistake is when people hit a heavy bag, they put all their weight forward. You should have a centered weight in your guarding stance when you throw your jab, and then your weight would shift into your punches. We're going to talk about that in later episodes. So right off the bat, put down a ruler. It could be a string, it could be anything. Make sure that one foot is slightly to the left, one foot is slightly to the right. Our hands are up, and then start working some techniques and look in the mirror that your feet stay on the left and on the right. Now, my last thing about this, most common mistake where people mess up and step on their central line is when they try to throw a round kick. Especially if you have shoes on, you need to make sure this toe turns out to throw a round kick. Take stress off the knee, and it's just a proper round kick. And if you have shoes on and you haven't been trained to put weight on the ball of your foot, you're going to probably want to step first. And so I teach people to turn, then kick. But the challenge is, a lot of people turn, but watch the heel. They step to the right. And they put their foot right on that center line, then they throw the kick, and they wonder why you're off balance. So when you do that round kick, we still want to maintain. Turn, but stay left. Just throw the right leg, and of course, right, stay right with the left leg. One last thing about balance. It's the beginning and end of every technique. We never modify our balance for the technique we're throwing. We always start in a good guarding stance, pow, 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 boom, and then we always finish in a good guarding stance. Like I tell my martial artists, or people that I've trained to fight, recovering back to balance after techniques is more important than the technique itself. Listen to that for a second. Starting in a good balance, firing your techniques, getting back to a good solid balance is more important than the punch and kick that you just threw. All right, I'm Jim Graden, and this is your Kickboxing Tip of the Week. Thank you.